and bounce out. So.
All right, hey YouTube, this is Kevin. Welcome again to the channel. Again, this channel is all about empowering you to live, to love, and to have great relationships, be the best person you can be. In these series of videos, what we're talking about some of our favorite shows, but we're also talking about some of the lessons that we're learning from them. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to talk about the show Put a Ring on It, right?
Yeah.
New show, and I'm joined again by my wife, Tarsha.
Hey.
All right, so in this show, woman. Just to get randomness is
just
what
a
we
random
do.
Woman, like, can you come in here and do a video?
It's my wife. We've been together for 20 years, so she ain't random. All right, but one of the things we want to talk about, we've been in a relationship together for, like I said, over 20 years. I'm rambling. We'll start this over.
No, just keep going. So here's the show.
We're gonna start over because I completely messed it up.
Hey, guess what? Anyway, we're moving on. So basically, for this show,
she really just overrode my YouTube channel right now.
It's okay.
All right,
we're gonna keep going.
Okay.
And so, relationship tip number 1.
Yes.
We're talking about fear, right?
Yes.
So this first preview, which kind of dealt with the women going out on their first date, you'll see in this episode, but as they sharing about why they were there, why they decided to be casted for Put a Ring on It, a lot of them basically was talking about fears.
Yeah.
You know, one was saying they were afraid of getting married, then end up divorced because they've seen a lot of that in their own family or in their community or whatever, friends and stuff. So they were like, I don't want to get into marriage and get a divorce, you know, that being a fear. And one was saying a fear of rejection. So you'll notice, I'm not going to tell you which couple, but you'll find out one couple, they were engaged, and then the boyfriend bowed out at last minute. Yeah. So now she's not ready and he's ready. Yeah. So that fear there. And then also the reason why he bowed out, because he was afraid, like, is this the right person? Right. Is this going to really work for me? Yeah. You know, and like we were sharing, when you're not sharing that fear while you're going through that and being an engaged couple, those are things you should have talked with your significant other.
Because if you're saying that this is the person that I'm going to be with for life, that's the goal. Because that's the goal, right?
Right.
Your goal is not to be with someone just for the next 5 years and then divorce. Your goal is to be with someone for the rest of your life, right? And so that should be a conversation of, hey, I'm feeling a little nervous about this. Right. And then that gives your spouse, your significant other, the opportunity to help allay some of those concerns, but also help walk through those concerns with you. Right.
And and this being the relationship tip, I had some fears in being engaged, you know, and I didn't share that with you, but I talked through my own fears. Right. And then there was 2 things that I had to realize from this. Is this a made up fear, something that's in my head, or is this a true fear? Yeah. So I kind of literally put a list. You know, I'm afraid that this person isn't real. Like, maybe I find out we're married and, you know, he got this secret life.
I got 13 kids on the side. 14 baby mamas.
He ain't real. You know, he ain't safe as I thought he was, you know. So, but I had to go over, okay, has there anything in the course of our dating relationship that he showed me that he wasn't being his true self? Yeah. And so I could cross that off, you know. I don't know he's going to be a good father. You know, I went over every time we've been together or we've been out together or he had some interaction with kids. No, he's always had a good interaction with kids. I've seen him with his friends' kids. So again, I could cross that off because I went back over my head different scenarios where I saw you in a good light. Right. You know, and when I did see you in a good light, I couldn't say that was a deal breaker. Right. So, but it helped me remove certain fears. Yes. But if you can't do that on your own, have someone or even talk to the person like, hey, I got to mention this. I'm having some fears. I wouldn't say doubts, but I have fears about this, and see if that person can help you resolve those things. Right.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real, right?
Oh, okay. So that out there like that. Put that. Put it on the third for us.
Right, put that on the false evidence appearing real, right? So what you're talking about and what I know, even for myself is you have to look at, especially in a relationship, what appears to be real, but compare that with what is in actuality, what is real.
Yes.
And when we're talking about relationships and talking about moving forward as a couple, and every one of us has fears. We've been together for 20 something years, and there's still concerns, there's still fears that we have, not necessarily about each other, but just about what the future looks like.
Right.
And I think that's one of the biggest things when you're entering into a relationship, considering making it permanent and lasting, is what does the future look like?
Right.
And so because that's the unknown, and because maybe, yes, you've seen other things and you've seen how the unknown worked out for other people,
right?
You're now concerned about whether or not that's going to work out for you. But the only way you can really figure out the unknown is to take what is already known for you, like you were talking about. You kind of cross things off and said, this is what happened, this is who he is, what have you, and then begin to move forward, because the unknown is uncharted territory.
It is, and that where we come to the other couple. Her fear is she ever going to, is he going to ever propose? Are we going to ever get married? So how do you combat those fears of, like you said, the future, not knowing what's going to hold? Am I putting all into this relationship, not knowing if we're going to ever be together? Am I going to be ever worthy of having this last name? Why don't you think enough of me that we get married? And you find yourself pressuring somebody who may not be ready or have their own fears that they can't share. Because I know there's going to be a lot of women and men, or women be like, babe, we got to watch this. We got to watch this season or put a ring on it. Or a lot of girlfriends say, girl, you better figure out what's going on in your relationship and check out this show. So this is why we're going to give these relationship tips.
Absolutely.
And hopefully this will be helpful to you.
Yes. Maybe
you do have some fears, and maybe that's why you haven't said yes or no or wanted to be engaged.
Or maybe you haven't pushed forward with the relationship that you know is the good relationship. You know it's what you desire. You know that it will work out. But there's something nagging you in the back of your mind.
Or you don't think you're worthy. Is this too good to be true?
That's a whole other tip. That's a whole other tip. Listen.
Can I really, this is going to last? If I change anything, is anything going to last? So, hey, take this relationship tip about fears, kind of dissect that, write that out, and then see how it works for you. Give us some comments about how you utilize this tip.
Yes. So if this has been useful to you, definitely hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. We like likes. And then hit that notifications, because you want to be notified every time that we put up one of these videos. All right. We love you. Be blessed. Have a great